Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss how to identify a bad idea while writing. Why is it important to identify a bad idea while writing? Well, we have limited amount of time and energy. So with the limited amount of resources, we need to do maximum things. So because of that, we need to identify bad ideas so that we don't spend too much of our resources and potential on that. So for those reasons, we need to identify bad ideas so that we don't work and spend time on that bad ideas, and we spend more time and resources and maximize their potential using good ideas. So the first important thing how you can identify bad ideas is lack of exploration. Now when you have a bad idea, it's difficult to explore it in any different ways, different nuances, different ways. It's difficult to explore it. On the contrary, if you have a good idea, it's very easy to explore in very different ways, in different nuances, different ways. It's very easy to explore things. So if you are having difficulty in trouble in exploring, then that idea might be a bad idea. The other thing is expansion. A good idea is very easy to expand. A bad idea, very difficult to expand. You can't expand it into multiple ways when it is a bad idea. A good idea, on the contrary, you can expand it into different things. Like suppose if you want to create multiple short stories from a single idea, then it's possible. You want to create multiple novels from a single idea, it's possible. You want to create a series of series, then it is possible. But if it is a bad idea, then it is very difficult to explore the idea into multiple settings like this. So for that reason, bad idea, if it is lack of expansion is happening, then it might be a bad idea. The third thing is creating characters, relatable or otherwise. So for any good story, article or novel, it is very important to create good characters. Some characters which are relatable to people, the audience, or strong characters which incite some kind of emotion from the audience. So if you're having difficulty creating good characters like this from an idea, then it might be a bad idea. Good ideas give out nice characters, strong characters, characters with good voices, relatable to people. So if you're not able to do all these things, it might be a bad idea. Fourth thing is offensiveness. Nowadays, it is very important not to offend people. Political correctness is very key here. So if you have a bad idea, then it is very easy to be offensive. I mean, there are people who make careers using offensiveness. But we are not here to do that. We want to be, especially in the early career, we want to be as less offensive as possible. So a good idea will lend yourself to that. It will make things very less offensive. When you explore the idea, offensive remarks and things will come out less. But on the contrary, a bad idea might increase the offensiveness material. You might be able to create too much offensiveness with your remarks and all that when you are exploring the bad idea. So when if you are being too offensive while exploring the idea, then maybe that idea is a bad idea, right? Then technicalities on jargons. Now, in the beginning of your career, like if you have to understand too many technicalities and jargons, then it might be a bad idea for you at that time. Suppose example is accountancy. Suppose you want to write an article or short story or something about accountancy, then you need to learn about commerce, you need to learn about economics, accountancy, etc., etc. So if you are not master of these topics, then the article or short story or novel which will come out from this will be poor in taste. it won't come out very strong, not very nice. So a good idea will be away from all these things. I'm now in, when you venture forth and become a stronger writer, then you might want to do this. If you like the topics, then you explore those topics, become master of those topics, and then write about those topics. But if in the beginning, if you are having to do too many technicalities and jargons, then it gives you a sense that this might go into the realm of bad ideas. Because if you don't master all these things, the work which will come out from this bad idea will not be good. Apart from this, fleshed out plot lines. Now, for any story to increase, you need to have a good plot. If you are not able to generate plots using snowflake method, which we'll discuss in the next video, then you might be having trouble with your idea. A good idea will be able to generate plots. You'll be able to go from plot point to plot point and very easily, and you'll be able to generate plots very easily. So this is another thing, that if you're not able to develop plots properly and seamlessly, then you might be having a bad idea. Other thing is bad world building. If you are not able to build world, like you are not able to, suppose Harry Potter is there, then you have a magical school and different characters and all that, you know, different things. So that's a good world building. But if you have a world filled with paint, so the creatures are of paint and the structures are of paint, it's difficult to create distinct characters and world. So if you are having difficulty in world building, then it's probably a bad idea. If you have a good idea, then the world building will come out seamlessly. In one brainstorming only, you might be able to generate the whole world. If you're not able to do that, then you probably have a bad idea. Then the virality of it. A good idea is viral. You can sense the potential of virality. A bad idea, on the other hand, you might know that it will not connect with audiences very well. So then you know that it will be not as viral. The other part is intellectuality. If the idea is not very intellectual, then the idea is a bad idea. It has to be intellectual. To be viral, it has to be intellectual on many aspects. Then only it will be a good idea. Then stimulating thoughts. When you think about an idea, you should get stimulating thoughts. If you're not getting stimulating thoughts, then the idea is a bad idea. A good idea will give you stimulating thoughts. Like your thought will jump from one place to another, to another, to another. You'll get many stimulators. You'll get a lot of stimulation and you'll get a lot of stimulating thoughts. So if you're not getting such stimulating thoughts, then your idea might be a bad idea. Then cascading effect. Like when you go to a computer, if you want to open a Microsoft Word, then you click on the right button and a bar type pops up, and then you click on the triangle or arrow, and then you create a Microsoft Word. And if you want to go much deeper, then you keep on clicking on arrows, and the cascading effect comes on that. So if you are not able to do a cascading effect from your idea, then you might be dealing with a bad idea. A good idea, you are able to cascade one thought from another, cascade after cascade. It's easy to get waves of ideas and sub ideas. So in that, if you're not able to do this, then it is a bad idea. Then if it does not lead to new situations or contexts, then it's a bad idea. Like if you are having a good idea, then it will lead you to from one situation to another situation. Like you are creating a story, then you have multiple scenes interlinking with each other. So one scene finishes, then you get the second scene, which is jumping from the first scene. Then the second scene it jumps to the third scene. All these scenes are interlinked. So if you are not able to jump from one situation to another or context to another, then you might have a bad idea. In good ideas, it is very easily, you can seamlessly make multiple situations, multiple scenes, interlink them and create a good story. But if you're not able to do that, then you might have a bad idea. And last is atmosphere. Atmosphere is very important for a story. Suppose there is a horror novel, then the impending sense of doom that something bad is going to happen, somebody is going to get killed or something bad is going to happen, that sense of dread, that is important for a horror novel. For a romance novel, suppose it is important, like will they, won't they, that atmosphere, the tension has to remain. So if this atmosphere is not there, then it's a bad idea. A good idea lends good atmosphere to the novel. You feel like you are within the novel. If you are not feeling like you are within the novel, you are not feeling the sense of atmosphere, then it's probably a bad idea. So these are the reasons or the ways you can identify a bad idea. Now, having said all this, I have to drop a bombshell. The bombshell is that there are no bad ideas. In the hands of gifted writers, there are no bad ideas. A good writer can create good characters, good world building, good atmosphere from even the worst of ideas. You can give a very bad idea to a writer, a gifted writer, a talented writer, and he will create a masterpiece out of it. So there are no bad ideas. It's all related to the talent and skill of the person. But in the beginning of your writing, you should stay away from all these things which can constitute a bad idea. Once you develop your skills and become master of the genre or the story type or the topic, then you can masterfully execute any idea. So the important thing is to become master of your domain. You need to achieve mastery of your skills, and then you can convert any idea into a masterpiece. Although I would suggest, if you're having trouble, like I said, if you identify some issues like this, then you should stick away from those ideas if possible, whether you are a master or a newbie, because it is not worthwhile to spend energy on such bad ideas unless it is a very unique idea. It has never been done before, and maybe you can explore it a little bit, not much time, but you can explore it, and if you feel that you can do something new with it, something unique with it, which has never been done before, then you might spend some time on it. It is okay to spend some time, but that is the work for a master, not for a newbie. If you're a newbie, then identify bad ideas and stay away from bad ideas till you develop your skills enough to generate masterpieces from even bad ideas. So good luck with your writing and reading. Thank you for listening to this video. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to my channel so you can get more views, you can get more videos to watch, and look at the other videos too. There's a lot of good content on the channel, and we are going to develop more exciting content too. So subscribe to the channel and like the video for more better inputs. Thank you. Bye.